It's kind of like that. I could be so wrong on this, so forgive me if this is ignorant. It could be. But I think it's like the Japanese culture has the mentality of that, like do your best at what you love. And so it's the idea of stop thinking, right? Feel, experience, that's what you came for, and allow the universe to do the thinking. And so when you allow that flow and can remain in that flow, you can lead a magical life. Yet we often will go in and out of those flow states, right? So we'll get into that flow and then we'll start to think. We'll start to do the universe's job and we'll get in our own way and we will seek outside ourselves. So it's like that chasing happiness, that chasing, you've heard me do things like that where it's the ego talking, right? Where it's like, I think, I want, blah, blah. It's like, it's so sad, right? Because ultimately you're missing out on why you came. You came to live and experience and feel. And the universe is going to do the how, the thinking, that portion. And so if we can release and allow and let go, it can feel amazing when we trust how we feel and allow the universe to orchestrate the rest. And so, I think that's essentially what, again, forgive me for my ignorance, but I think essentially that's what the Japanese culture has instilled in their people in that sense, where they get that on such a profound level. This is why I feel like there's so many masters in Japan where they have mastered their craft because it's what they love to do. They're not thinking, they're in that flow state and they're enjoying the process of it, no matter what it is, right? Like we tend to judge, that's not good enough, or that's not important enough, or that's not whatever. And it's us using our thinker, thinking we are the judge, thinking we get to be the thought, we get to be the one doing the thinking. And it's out of alignment. And so we're only tripping ourselves up, where they get that they're not stuck in their ego. They get it. They don't bother with that. And they can see that as so sad that we struggle with such things. We haven't been able to elevate enough to get out of our own way, to get out of our own ego. And it's like they've well surpassed that nonsense. And again, there's always a fine line and balance, and I'm sure we could debate this and whatnot, but I find it beautiful and interesting and so peaceful and lovely, right? Like, to me, if you look at what I was going to say what they produce, but I think it's just because most of the beautiful things I have, or that I see, or that I've enjoyed, happen to be from Japanese artists. They really do tend to be the best at what they do, for the reasons I just stated. Not to fill up their ego, not at all, to enjoy their life, right? It's like, it's just the opposite. It's like they master the craft of making teapots. Not to be, I am the number one teapot maker, I'm spectacular, look at me, I'm fabulous. Not at all. It's they know they're good at that, and they know they enjoy that, and they get to be in the flow state of that. And because they're in the flow state of that, they happen to be the master of it, right? Because they're allowing the universe to flow through them to make that beautiful thing. And they enjoy that feeling of the universe flowing through them and being in that flow state, that they continue to do it. So essentially practice it and get better at it all the time. And again, because it fucking feels good, not because they're going to one day win some title. That's why to them it doesn't matter, right? They could be the best, forgive the words here, they're showing like rice picker, and I'm sure there's a word. And so it's like, they're not thinking like, that's a thing, I want to be that best. No, not at all. They just know that they're really good at that, and they enjoy how it feels to allow the universe to flow through them, and the universe will flow through them when they're doing what they're good at. So they do what they're good at. The universe flows through them. It feels really good. They happen to become the master of it. It's that full circle and cycle that we're always talking about. But again and again, I know this is such an ignorant but it's a good, right? I think it's a good, what's the word? Stereotype, right? Yet that is what they're showing and what it keeps, and it's what I'm familiar with. It's what I know. So I guess it's a stereotype I have. So forgive me for that ignorance of stereotyping or whatever. But again, I think it's a positive one in that, it's a nice comment. Or it's meant to be. It's meant to be. It's like, it's something for all of us to strive for, that understanding. And it's the understanding in which you hear all the time where you have to be it to get it kind of thing. It doesn't happen until you allow it. All those annoying things, that's kind of the idea here. It's like they've grasped that and mastered that. They're well past that. It's like they know this feels good to do this. They know they're good at this. They know they like this. They know it feels good. And because they're honoring themselves, because they're loving themselves enough to do what feels good for them, to do what, not because somebody's approved of it or it's the right thing to do or it's seen as so high and mighty or spectacular. No, because they are naturally and innately good at this and it feels good to do what feels good. That the universe flows through them and that feels fucking amazing. So it encourages them to continue doing, and because they're honoring themselves and doing what feels good, and then in turn honoring the God in the universe, honoring their highest self, then they happen to become the master of it because they continue practicing what feels amazing to them, what is innately them and what they're good at. And then naturally they become the best at it. And so the good thing is they always keep themselves in check, where that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because it feels amazing. And then it feels even more amazing when the universe flows through them stronger, louder, and harder. And so it keeps that repetitive cycle going. And they have somehow also mastered the ego in that, like in the West, we tend to, if we get in that same flow or cycle, maybe not that beautiful of an understanding or consciousness, but you trip into it, you'll see people get famous, right? Or you get whatever. And then in the West, we tend to praise them, right? And in doing so, we pump up that ego. And so it's like that fine line where you want to acknowledge them. You want to say congratulations, or that's beautiful. You want to encourage them to continue doing their craft and their flow that they're amazing at in the universe. And so it's like the universe is also blessing you, having you become the best. And so you get honored usually by accolades or money or whatever, so your life can elevate in a more comfortable state. And the more comfortable you are, the more you're able to do what you're best at, and you continue that flow. But we tend to sometimes let our ego get in the way. We'll start to think about that praise. We'll start to focus on that praise. We start to then seek out that praise versus remembering we're seeking out feeling good and doing and practicing what we love. And so that little slippage that we have has us crash, right? Because you forgot why you were doing what you were doing, right? It's like you started to think. Again, you started to do the universe's job. And that is not our job. It's not even what we want. It's not even what we want, right? We want to be led by unconditional love. We want to allow our feeling body to experience what it came to experience, to feel good. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.